In this video, we will be discussing calculating volume. We will be focusing on the volume of rectangular prisms. By the end of this video, you will be able to calculate the volume of a rectangular prism. So let's talk a little bit about volume here. Volume is the amount of space that a 3D object occupies, also called its capacity. And capacity is the number of cubes that fill in a specific space. So to calculate volume, you need to know three measurements. We need to know the length, the width, and the height. So if I look at this 3D object over here, my length would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My width would be 1, 2, 3. And my height would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My volume formula is length times width times height. Or I could write it as V equals L times W times H. You may also see it as V equals capital B multiplied by H. And if you see this capital B, that represents the area of the base, which is the same thing as length times width. Volume is measured in cubic units. So similar to when we did volume and we did square units, cubes are three-dimensional squares. And since we're dealing with volume, which is three-dimensional, we are now using cubic units. And so when we would write it, it would be units with a 3 up here for cubed. So in this case, inches multiplied by inches would be inches cubed. Here we would have feet cubed, and here we would have meters cubed. So if I take a look at my three-dimensional object over here, and I wanted to figure out its volume, I would do V equals length times width times height. So I'm going to substitute my numbers in here. So it'd be V equals 5 times 3 times 5. So V is equal to 75. So my volume would be 75 units cubed. Here we have this 3D object. So again, I'm going to write my equation. So V equals length times width times height. And I'm going to substitute my numbers in. So V equals 6 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 4.5. That gives me V is equal to 243. So my volume for this figure is 243, and my label is centimeters, so it'd be centimeters cubed. If I look at this one, again, set up my equation. So volume equals length times width times height. Substitute my numbers in. So 5 3/10 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 11. So volume is equal to 116 6/10. And so my volume would be 116 6/10. And if I look here is meters, so it'd be meters cubed. Here's another one. So volume equals length times width times height. Substitute in my numbers. So volume equals 4 1/3 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 9. Volume is equal to 468. So I would have 468. Label is feet. So it would be feet cubed. Let's take a look at this last one here. So again, I would set up my equation. So I'd have V equals length times width times height. Substitute in my numbers. That'd give me 8 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 1 1/2. That comes to 96. And so I would have 96. My label is inches, so it'd be inches cubed.